23 years ago, I thought they'd be copying me in months. And they're still not copying me. Nobody teaches it because none of the cocksuckers know how to do it. Am I the greatest that ever lived? You motherfucking right I am. I proved it to myself, not that I needed any fucking validation. And one of the reasons, and I pointed at the Hall of Fame, the reason those guys are up there and the gals is because they stayed focused longer. And one of the kids that I've already had one-on-one time asked me, what's the differentiation from the people that make it and don't make it? And it's one thing. The people that stay focused the longest win. You don't have to do it right. You don't have to know anything about the industry. The people that stay focused the longest win. But shit happens. When I tell people that we've had a guy, his 9-year-old daughter got pregnant, nobody believes me, but it's true. 9 years old. That's a whole other fucking story. You know, how could a guy allow his daughter, right? But shit happens. Life happens. At least one of you is going to have a parent die. Which doesn't mean shit to me. The people that stay focused the longest win. We have intergalactic truth. We've got intercontinental truth. We have national truth. And we got our motherfucking truth. None of these guys, or almost none of these guys that we're going to talk about this week can be dissuaded from their mission. And whereas most people, and that's why I give the analogy of the speed bumps, some of you are going to see, I see speed bumps, you're going to think it's a Grand Canyon or fucking Mount Everest, you know, and it's just a fucking speed bump. When I say that I can't remember the last time I failed, Sally would remind me of these minor things that have happened over the last 20 years, but I don't consider them failures. Just didn't work out. I just change the circumstance around and try again until I make it work. Even the Indian CEOs are rougher than fuck. I mean, they are. They seem, you know, oh, bullshit, but I mean, they're rough fuckers. I mean, to stay focused and to stay laser beam focused and to make people accountable and not accept any bullshit, you have no idea how that separates you from everybody else. If you start keeping your parents accountable, they won't talk to you anymore. Every time your parents talk bullshit, that's bullshit, Mom. I mean, what are you smoking? Give me some of it if it's not addictive. Your parents talk bullshit. You know they talk bullshit. Why do you listen to it? Some say out of respect. I say out of no balls. Why? Why do you listen to their bullshit? We all know why. Guilt. You should have rolled down that fat fucking thigh.
So you shared some wisdom before about the things that distract us, like social media, and keep us from being laser focused. What are some of the things you would replace on a daily, weekly basis? Little actions that you can start taking as in next week.
Have a routine. Have a weekly routine. Use, let's say you start with Sunday. Use half a Sunday for the planning for the rest of the week. Have at least 5 scheduled times that you're going to exercise. Because exercise is important. Not to get a six-pack, but just to, you know, keep the adrenaline flowing in your body. Do the hardest things first in the day. The things that you don't want to do first. And we've all got a list like that. Do those first. Make a list that's longer than the day. Let's say that on average you can get to 8 to 12 things done a day. Have 15 to 20 things on the list. If you get through the 15 or 20, you're fucked up. Your time management is not right. I never get through my list for a day. I've always got to overlap to the next day. I tell the kids, and it's graphic, and it's ugly, and it's non-PC, but I mean, you know, she's either going to fuck you or she's not. You know, and I know you take them flowers and candy and you hold their hand and walk on the beach, and I guess kids still do that kind of shit, right? Not this kid. And when are you going to find out the 4th date that there's going to be no sex? I just assume know that the first phone call. I don't need to fill up my day mental masturbation, jerking around, pun intended. But you're afraid for not you, I say you like, no. You kids are afraid to get the fucking answer. Don't you understand? Because no, they're going to say no. Oh, she doesn't want to sleep with me. Oh, fuck. He doesn't want to sell. So the longer I can push out knowing, the better. And now you're filling up the days, hours, weeks, months. And that's why I tell you, focus on the few. You cannot fight 2 wars. You cannot fight with your significant other about what you're doing and get QLA done. It's not possible. So either your significant other just is quiet and shuts up, or she really gets on board. And when we talk about appointments, the first appointments that I make, I find out when your birthday is. Because they list that on fucking Facebook. They list it on, I'm not sure if they list it on LinkedIn. If your birthday is August the 4th, that's our first meeting. 8 o'clock at night, August the 4th. Valentine's Day, first meeting. Christmas Eve, first meeting. Rosh Hashanah. Ramadan. And we'll see how many of you show up. Michael Milken, the king of junk bonds back in the day, his first meetings when you're going to pitch him a deal were either 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning. 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning. I remember him telling me, this is 30 years ago, Danny, you have no idea how many meetings that eliminates for me. At his house in Encino. 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. And even the Queen, who we have something in common. I've met her a couple times. We have something in common. The same person that did my hip did her hip. The same person that did my knees did hers and the Queen Mother's knees. So that's as close as I come to sharing the same bloodline. But I've had the privilege of meeting her a couple times. She's quite a lady. Now, some of you have been told, or told me already yesterday, you came here for a fucking beatdown. Well, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. You're going to get a fucking beatdown. But two of my people that influenced me, which are on my wall of influencers, Stalin and Lenin, kind of look right up there. You know, the picture kind of looks right. But they were high performance people. And the thing you've got to get out of your mind is high performance doesn't mean good. High performance doesn't mean that you did well for humanity. High performance is being all you fucking can be. Taking advantage of all your assets. Man's greatest burden is unfulfilled potential. Unfulfilled. And as much as I've accomplished, as much as Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Bill Gates and the late Steve Jobs have accomplished, they only scratched the surface of what they could have accomplished. If anything in my seminar offends you, blame your fucking parents for raising a pussy. I told you last night at dinner, love doesn't get the job done. If love got the job done, you wouldn't be here. None of us would be here. We wouldn't be getting ready to bomb North Korea. Potentially. We wouldn't have just dropped the bomb, a mother of all, whatever the fuck we dropped in Afghanistan. Love doesn't get the job done. And when you were told as a youth, you can be anything you want to be, they lied to you. You cannot be anything you want to be. They should have said, you can be anything you want to be if you go to the right school, you work 140 hours a week, you don't hang around fucking morons, etc., etc., etc. If love got the job done, we would have produced high performance. It doesn't. That's Jason Capital, one of my mentees who I spoke for in Beverly Hills a few weeks ago, who's been through the seminar. The number one reason people fail in life is because they listen to their friends and family. One of the most successful guys that ever come through the seminar back in the 90s, he said, and he had gone to prison. He served, he did his time. How do I get rid of all these people? And in those days, you had cell phones that looked like bricks. And I said, change the number, and when they call your number, say something to the effect, if you don't have my number, fuck you, you're out of my life. Now, normally, people don't take me literally. Well, that's exactly what this kid did. And it wasn't bad until his mother got the message, because his mother was one of his biggest problems. His mother was one of his biggest problems. We've had people at this seminar that talk to their mom, and we wouldn't be here without our moms. So I'm all for loving moms 10, 15 times a day. And she wasn't dying. Nothing wrong with her. But she had trained her children. It gave her something to do all day. She had 5 kids. 5 kids calling you 10 times a day. Fills up the fucking day. In the old days, we didn't allow you to have phones. We cut you off from no TV, no nothing. We unplugged the phones in the castle, etc. Again, if I hear your phone, that's bad. I can already tell you won't be going to the gym anyway, but that's bad. So many pussies. This is what the Russian minister, when he was talking to CNN about the election, he said, so many pussies on both sides. Russian foreign minister, his take on the U.S. election. There was. Now, I don't agree with everything President Trump says. I happen to know him. But the one thing and what the world was screaming out for, especially the United States, is they want to change. They wanted something different. And you're seeing it around the world in different elections. The world is fucking fed up with the bullshit. And I say, with all my heart, that political correctness is a manifestation of lack of self-esteem. I'm nice to you because I want you to like me. If you die tonight in the bed, I don't give a fuck. If you want to commit suicide here, metaphorically, I don't want to get a bunch of lawsuits. Go drown yourself in the lock. Don't cut your wrists in the fucking room and fuck up all the antique furniture. I don't care. The truth of the matter is nobody cares. In the cosmos of time, you're not a fart in the wind. Bill Gates is not a fart in the wind. Zuckerberg is not a fart in the wind. So if they're not farts in the wind, meaning in the cosmos of the big picture, the 13.8 billion years, if they're nothing, what the fuck are you? Tears were in my eyes as I read this from a Mentee Weekly report. I almost can't believe a guy like me who originally grew up in a rundown shack from the Philippines province with no formal education, business education, absolutely no corporate background, sees so much opportunity and will be achieving something spectacular. He's doing roll-ups in Australia. He's put together a world-class board. And he didn't come directly. It's a better story if he came directly from the grass shack. But he didn't. He had a couple of stops. Stopped in Canada. I think it was Vancouver. And then and then of course we're going to talk about Josh, my 17, who's now 19-year-old phenom. And if a 17-year-old, 19-year-old, a teenager can do this, anybody in this room can. Okay, see you, YouTube.